Alright guys, what's up? This is ClouDx with Adaephon. I don't know if I got that right again. We're doing Evil Minds versus DKM, that's Don't Kill Me More, for the Digital Wars Season 1. This is the second game of the tournament of Group A. What's up, Adaephon? Adaephon. I'm gonna call you Adaephon.
Yeah, that works out fine. Everything's good. I'm curious to see how these picks will go. And at first man, Treant. Treant's seeing a lot of hate these days, isn't he?
There's really no surprises there, man. I don't blame this team for banning Tree, bloody cheating hero.
Treant makes you win every lane. It's kind of retarded. And the Queen of Pain ban, that's interesting and unusual.
Well, we saw last game Queen of Pain getting first pick, and then that poor little Queen of Pain got destroyed by an OD pick at mid. I mean, that's basic Dota. That's Dota 101. You can't pick Queen of Pain as your first pick because you're gonna get smacked in the face.
Yeah, I only caught the endings of that game, so I don't know. Wasn't Queen of Pain able to gank the other lanes? I mean, I understand you will lose mid, but you need to make up for it elsewhere, right?
Well, elsewhere was getting destroyed as well, so she had nowhere to go. So yeah, so we see the OD getting banned out by Evil Minds now. So it looks like there's some real repercussions from that last game. No dealing with Tree, no dealing with OD. Queen of Pain's been banned out as well. So at least we're gonna see some different Dota at the very least.
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
Or,
yes.
Or you know, they could just always go with the Coddle PL, the Cancer Lancer, being released on the world again.
In which case, I'm getting out of this cast and you're doing the solo.
I think people will just leave the stream if they see the Coddle PL.
I wouldn't blame them, man. I wouldn't blame them. But then again, I mean, it's always fun to see Coddle PL fail.
And a Bad Rider got through the draft. That's pretty unusual. That's one of the most irritating heroes to play against.
For some reason, I'm seeing a lot of Magnus being banned out here. I don't know if that's justified.
Well, I mean, he's lost some of his strength, but he's still a pretty strong hero. I mean, for team fighting, there's almost no one better.
Agreed, but I mean, when you pick a Magnus, the entire team's mindsets automatically starts training. Like, you know what? Magnus is going to jump in. Let's position ourselves better. Let's position a little more spread out. Everybody's just, automatically getting used to that kind of playstyle because Magnus has been seen in almost every single game so far. At least before the nerf, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But I mean, having played a lot of Dota myself, I've always seen that despite the fact that there's a Magnus, sometimes there's just some situations where you're forced to group up, such as like if you're taking Roshan or if you're going, if you're diving to take a kill. Inevitably, some grouping occurs, and that's where Magnus destroys your team.
Yep, I can't disagree with that, man. It's kind of the same logic behind the Naga Siren pickup. We're seeing a lot of Naga being picked up on the international scale. Once again, of course, that sleep setup so invaluable, especially when you've got some big tickets ults like that Enigma Black Hole. Meanwhile, we're gonna see Jakiro getting picked up by DKM. First pick Jakiro, only in India, man. Only in India.
Well, Jakiro used to be first pick material before the Ice Path got nerfed, but India's never been known to be taking things on the. They've never been quick on the update. But
well, that's putting it mildly.
And a Lifestealer pick against a Bad Rider, who's one of the premier heroes at locking down heroes that have BKB or Rage. May not be the ideal scenario, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, sure, they've got a little bit of well, sure, Bad Rider does counter the Lifestealer really hard, but I mean, it would kind of be a sin to let Evil Minds get both the Bad Rider as well as the Lifestealer, right?
Yeah, that is true. That would be a recipe for disaster.
No doubt, man. Evil Minds, meanwhile, they've got the option of picking up that Alchemist if that's what they choose to go this early on. In fact, I don't think that would be a bad idea. A Gyrocopter might actually be the best fit going up against this lineup.
Yeah, and actually I've seen several teams pick up Weaver against Naix because of the maneuverability. It's hard for Naix to lock down a Weaver because Open Wounds is completely nullified by Shikuchi.
Absolutely, yeah. The best way to beat a Lifestealer is either you get something that's something that's really mobile, or you shut down his mobility. And with the Bat Rider, they've already gone on one foot. Why not get the other one?
Yeah, but I do. Yeah, and looks like we're good at predicting picks.
Well, that's a really good call, man. The Weaver pick is actually going to work quite well in their favor. I'm going to say the lineups are still dead even. It's not definitely tilting in favor of Evil Minds just yet. That Jakiro pick looks a little bit out of place though to me.
It does. But honestly, it depends on how the laning phase goes because you don't know where the Bad Rider is going to be. He could be mid, he could be off lane, he could be jungle. To be honest, I don't really like Bad Rider mid. I think because of his insane efficiency in the jungle, he's best put there. And you can get someone else in mid, but it depends on the team's choice.
Yeah, that's true, man. But again, you're gonna need something like maybe the Shadow Demon or the Rubik to couple with that Jakiro, of course, to set up those stuns. That makes it a really potent tri lane.
Exactly, and I'm surprised they didn't actually pick up the Shadow Demon earlier, because Shadow Demon is another good counter to Lifestealer as well as Bat Rider. So I'm surprised neither team has banned him or tried to pick him.
You know what's as surprising? Nyx Assassin has just been left out there. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen him fall off on the international level, but I really would not have expected that to transfer over to the Indian metagame so soon.
I agree with you there. Nyx is still an irritating support. The amount of investment you have to do to just make sure the Nyx doesn't destroy your team is insane for just a support.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you're just forced to buy those Centuries, you're forced to group up, you're forced to not let your carry farm by himself. It really makes it's kind of like playing against the IO, because you've always got to be on your toes. Never know when that moron's going to show up at your back door.
I agree. For a second I was thrown off when you said IO, because in my head it's still Wisp. But I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. IO is I don't really like that name myself.
And there's the Shadow Demon, man. That's more along the lines of what I was expecting.
And the Rubik as well. So Evil
Yes.
Minds, that's a good call, definitely. I'm confused about this Doombringer ban,
Yeah, the
because
Doom ban.
it happened last game as well. Doombringer got banned, but maybe there's something I'm missing here. Maybe there's something we're both missing here. Either that, or we're just gonna end up in another game like the last one.
Well, actually, I have a good friend of mine who plays with me a lot, and he holds to the belief that Doom is the single best hero to shut down any carry. Because now that they've changed Doom, it stops all your passives as well. Nyx can no longer use his feast to sustain himself during Doom. So I mean, if you can get a Doom off on Lifestealer before the fight starts, then that's completely shutting him down. I mean, we already have the Lasso, but if you get a Doom on top of it, that would be pretty bad.
Absolutely, that's true. But then again,
it's Evil Minds that banned it out, so I don't really understand what's going on.
not just that. I mean, sure, you've got the Doom that shuts down one hero, but I mean, after you cast that Doom, that's one hero of your own that's pretty much useless as well. So you've just basically taken the fight from 5v5 to 4v4, right?
Well, I suppose. I mean, if Doom gets a lot of farm, especially given his Devara, he can make a pretty decent impact.
That's true. And of course, you could always have the support Doom, just like how I believe Rattlesnake plays it. And I mean, get some mechanism, get some utility items on your Doombringer, so he's not useless even after he's cast his.
Exactly.
Good point.
Either.
So I guess Doombringer's ban was warranted, but maybe not by Evil Minds, maybe by Don't Kill Me.
Exactly. And the Leshrac is banned out, which is, I suppose, an okay ban, but given that they don't really have any setups for Leshrac, I don't know if it was worth the ban.
That's true, unless of course they're fearing a heavy push coming in. But no, there's absolutely no scenario in which Leshrac deserves a ban. I'm just gonna go outright and say
Silencer.
I like this.
So where do you think they're going to be laning the Silencer? Is it going to be a support Silencer or a solo mid?
It seems too soon to tell, but my bet would be on the support Silencer.
I don't know. I'm of mixed opinions when it comes to a support Silencer, because I mean, I've seen it played at the international level as well as in pub games. He ends up just being a walking global silence. I mean, and that's pretty awesome in itself. And there comes the Nyx.
That's disgusting, man. I mean, you don't see Nyx Assassin make it this far.
And this is a team of bugs now. You've got two critters and a bat.
Yep, one flying critter and two walking critters. Can we not have that thought in my head, please, man? Anyway.
Well, Nyx Assassin is going to make Silencer's life a living hell.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'm still left confused as to why Nyx Assassin was left until so far out. I mean, I would have expected to see Nyx Assassin banned instead of maybe the Doombringer or even that Leshrac ban. And now, I mean, you can see that Don't Kill More has kind of panicked after this one. They're like, holy crap, Nyx was in. 5 seconds on reserve time, they pick up the Tidehunter. This seems like a move of complete desperation to me.
That's quite possible. Although I do believe that with Jakiro, Silencer, and Tidehunter, Don't Kill More has a ridiculous team fight. I mean, I don't think Evil Minds can even think of fighting these people 5v5. It's just not possible with their lineup. They're built for pickoffs and skirmishes, not for group up and just go for the whole shebang.
That's true. That's true. They've got some very good team fight going their way, but that said, looks like their lanes might. Well, okay, their tri lane looks a little strong as well. But I mean, if Evil Minds chooses to pick up the Alchemist, actually no, they can't fit the Alchemist in here. It would kind of be too greedy for them. So yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, Don't Kill More, their strategy should be to try and force some early game team fights, while Evil Minds has to be playing on the back foot, trying to avoid those team fights and find those sly pickoffs and trades.
Darkseer. Okay. So with the fourth picks from both teams, their lanes are lining up a little bit more. We can see that from the Tidehunter pick, I can assume that the Silencer is going mid, and it's going to be a Tide, Jakir, Lifestealer tri-lane. And with the Darkseer pick, you can tell that Batrider is going to be mid.
That seems like the most sensible way to lane it right now. Unless of course you choose to put the Batrider in the jungle, have
Jungle
an
and Darkseer offlane. Yeah, that would be extremely greedy.
That extremely, man. I gotta agree. Unless of course they're thinking of a mid solo Nyx, in which case it might make quite some sense.
That could work out really well for them, especially if it's a Silencer mid. And Nyx has one of the most broken skills in the game. That Carapace is the most disruptive skill when it comes to team fights. You can't target the hero. I mean, they do have Nyx who counters Nyx pretty well, but for the rest of their heroes, that Carapace is going to be a nightmare.
Absolutely, man. It renders one hero completely useless. It kind of makes you, it throws you off your game, right? You've got that bug crawling around with spikes sticking out of his back. You're like, should we hit him? Should we not hit him? If we all hit him once, we're all going to get stunned. Should we all hit him twice? No, then we're all going to get stunned and then we're going to die before we hit him twice. I mean, that kind of panic sets in, and especially for unseasoned teams, which I'm assuming both of these are, it's going to be a disaster.
And a Vengeful and a Furion ban. I suppose the Furion ban makes a little bit of sense because they're lacking an offlaner right now. The Vengeful ban, I suppose they do need to ban out of support, but I think there's better support to ban than the Vengeful.
Just 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. So yeah, it looks like both teams don't have a carry. Our Statsman unfortunately cannot push stats at the screen, so he just said it to me instead. TA gonna be the pickup.
What
so this
is going on?
We're gonna see some Hannah Montana offlane Tidehunter.
Tidehunter, yeah.
Back to the old TI2 days.
Exactly, I haven't seen an offlane Tidehunter forever.
Unless this is an offlane TA, new meta. Hashtag new meta, hashtag Indian Dota.
Yes, because offlane TA works so well. For a hero that needs farm and levels, offlane is the perfect position for TA to go in.
And especially when you're going up against so much damage over time, man.
I'm really curious about this TA pick. I mean, they have 3 heroes that deal with TA extremely well. Mana Burn renders TA useless. Darkseer's Iron Shell destroys her refraction, and so does Batrider's Napalm as well as his Firefly. It is a horrible, horrible game to pick TA, and I do not feel good for this TA. And the Warlock on top of everything.
Yep, let's just watch the screen while scratching our heads and see where these heroes decide to go, man.
This game is gonna be interesting,
to say the least. Alright, let's before this gets underway, just a shot in the dark. Let's try and make sense of these lanes. So I'm gonna try taking on Evil Minds because it looks a little easier. Try lane with the Nyx Assassin, Warlock, and the Weaver on the safe lane. Probably the off lane Darkseer and the mid solo Batrider. Your call for DKM, man.
Well, for DKM, I think it's pretty understandable as well. You have the Hannah Montana offlane Tidehunter. You have the tri-lane with Silencer, Nyx, and Jakiro, and a solo mid TA.
Left scratching my head, man.
and I think so far I'm okay because TA has gone the Bottle Rush build with the 3 branches and the tangos. Tidehunter's been given sentries as well as observers. So I guess he's support?
Yep. Looks,
What? Okay, they might just be an offensive tri-lane with a safe lane Silencer. This is not something I expected, and I think it could work really well.
Absolutely, I was just about to say that. It actually makes a lot more sense than what we were coming up with so far.
Yeah, my only concern is that they won't be able to kill the Weaver. So if they ever decide to go aggressive, they're going to end up losing their supports as Weaver is going to pick them off. And with Warlock's heal, they're going to have a lot of trouble trying to kill them.
That's true. That's true. There's definitely no way that they're going to pick off this Weaver just relying on a Jakiro Ice Path. And I mean, at level 1, a 1 second Ice Path is not enough to hold a Shikuchi Weaver in place. Not
to mention that in DKM's offensive tri-lane, they have 2 melee heroes, while Evil Minds has 2 ranged, as well as their carry being ranged, which makes it a lot easier for him to farm.
Yep.
So I don't know if I agree with this, but they've managed to block off the pull camp at least, so they won't be denied too much experience. That's one thing in their favor. And Batrider starts off mid with a double damage room, so life got worse for Silencer. Okay, so it's a safe lane TA and a Silencer mid, which I think is a much better matchup than TA versus Batrider.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, TA versus Batrider is doomed for TA, man. Especially considering that TA did not start off with a magic stick, and neither did Silencer, apparently.
Yeah, and now TA is going up against Darkseer, which is not good for him. This is the bad game for TA.
Yep. There could not be a possible worse situation to pick TA.
Yeah, I guess it's just some of the inexperience showing through. As you said, these teams may not have a lot of experience playing. And I'm just watching TA and top, and he's already down to half HP from the iron shield damage. It's not looking good for him. He started with a mid build with the ball rush, and well,
Now he's gonna pay for it, man. I mean, another way to come back from this is to actually put 2 points into the side blades. That might just keep him out of range while getting his last hits in decently well. But it's no foolproof method of beating a Darkseer.
yeah, there isn't. I've seen certain TAs keep diffraction at level 1 and max out the meld strike for harass, but I don't know if that'll work out here because it's a long lane. It's not mid.
That's true, and plus, I mean, you're gonna need a lot of skill to pull off a meld shot each and every time.
It's agreed. Silencer looks like he's having a hard time mid. If you look at the CS, Batrider is 7 for 2, while Silencer is 0 for 0.
Wow.
And yeah,
At least a saving grace in his factor is he's managed to call out the magic stick to himself. He's opted to get the curse as well as the last word. That's really going to put some pressure on this Batrider. So I do believe that this is the time where Silencer can start shining soon. Bottom lane looks like there is an initiation. Looks like Jakiro is going to go down. Fatal Bond's doing its work. Lifestealer scurrying away to safety as well, all owing to collateral damage.
Oh, this is not looking good for DKM, if you ask me. They're in a position where they could be losing all 3 of their lanes, and that's never a good way to start a game.
Absolutely, man.
The whole purpose of an aggressive tri-lane is to get kills and to shut down the carry's farm. Giving up kills is a good way to lose the lane.
Check this out. I mean, 2-man Impale onto 2-man Fatal Bonds, and
yeah, the damage is just ridiculous.
Jakiro's almost, well, he's got 5 tangos. He's got no iron rods etc. on himself. So that's kind of a good way to enter this lane, I'm gonna say. That said, like you were saying, an offensive tri-lane, its purpose is to shut down your opponent's carry and to get some farm off as well. But I mean, again, when you do an offensive tri-lane, it's quite rare to see this camp blocked out. You normally want to put down the ward and contest that camp, steal as much experience and farm as you can. Looks like DKM just opting to get the creep equilibrium back at their tower and try and force some fights. But again, like we mentioned,
actually, I agree with their decision. Given their composition, they don't exactly have the best lineup to go contest those pulls, given that they have 2 melee heroes. So for them to get into range and contest it, it would require them to go into exactly what just happened now, an Impale, and yes, there goes Jakiro again. They'd have to go into Swarm and Impale and Shadow Word.
And this is basically under their tier 1 tower. Yeah, exactly, under the tier 1 tower. So holy crap, I mean, how are they ever going to try and pick off a kill on the Weaver?
I don't think they can. At this point, I just want to tell them to abandon the tri-lane. And Jakiro's done exactly that. He's gone top. Absolutely. He's decided, screw this lane, I'm out.
It's quite silly, man. I mean, Darkseer was, of course, creep skipping. I do see that Jakiro has rotated up top, but I mean, he's going to be a very poor Jakiro for very long in this game unless he manages to get some assists. I don't see that happening at middle lane, because if he does rotate in to try and kill the Batrider is probably going to have his head in exchange. Tactical pause. Here we go. He sees the Jakiro coming in.
Someone call Marlene. Well, I'm just going to take this break to look at the CS charts, and unfortunately it looks like Evil Minds has all, the 3 top CSers are all on their team, so things are looking good for them. Silencer's got nothing in mid, he's got 3 creeps and no denies. Then Jakiro fails the Ice Path in mid.
Thankfully,
I think this is a very unhappy Jakiro.
You bet, man. I mean, he's sitting at what, 2? So that's not too shabby, I'm gonna say. Titan is sitting at level 2 as well. Let's have a look at the opponent. Suppose level 3 up on the Warlock, level 3 up on the Nyx. So despite having no 2 kill advantage in the tri-lane, they're not that far ahead, I'm gonna say. But yeah. I mean, if you get that early 6 on the Nyx, who's by the way rotating in towards middle lane now, I don't see anything that DKM can do to withstand that push and that, of course, that gank potential coming in.
Yeah, this is quite good. As Batrider rotates top to gank, you get Nyx getting some EXP mid, and TA is just dead. There's nothing you can do.
Oh man, Iron Shell plus the, what do you call this, man?
Firefly.
Firefly.
The 2 worst skills in the game for TA to go up against. Like literally the worst. I don't know what they were thinking when they picked TA.
And it wasn't even like a first pick thing. It was like the last pick is going to be TA after you have a Batrider and after you have a Darkseer.
Yeah, I know. It's like usually the last pick is for countering them, not for screwing yourself worse. And I like this Warlock's build. He's maxing his Fatal Bonds over his Shadow Word, so this lane is just not going to be fun for this for DKM. Nyx at least has managed to get some CS up.
Yeah, but again, when you say CS up, he's sitting at 12. You know, compare that to the Weaver, who's sitting at 26 and 1. So in reality, in effect, I mean, their tri lane has just failed completely.
I'm just saying it relatively compared to what he was before, which was like 2 for 0. Oh, and Nyx is taking a lot of damage. That rage is not going to help him if the the Fatal Bonds keeps going.
That's actually, in hindsight,
will he take over? If Shakira takes any more damage, he will. But no, I think he'll make it out safely.
He's trying to impale. He gets the impale, but he doesn't die. He just makes it out. He did eat that tango on his way back. Smart play there by Nyx Assassin, trying to get that.
Very smart play. And really aggressive play from this Nyx. Diving the tier 1 just to land an impale and hopefully kill the Nyx. And if you look top, yeah, Darkseer is manhandling this TK.
This is so reminiscent of Tom and Jerry, man. There's nothing this TA can do. 2 Mel strikes missed straight up. Darkseer is just gonna come back in. Refraction, alright, fine, I'll take it down in a couple of seconds, he says, if he wants to turn back in. But really, that's a level 7 DS.
And in mid, Batrider is going for a kill on the Silencer, who's most likely gonna die.
Yep, that's a very dead silence.
That's
3 stacks, Batrider sitting at 1800 gold. That's gonna be a sub 10-minute blink dagger up for him.
It's gonna be a sub 8-minute blink dagger if he does it right. That's ridiculous.
A quick peek at the TA. She's sitting at level 6 up top. She's got 0 farm. Well, the good thing is she's just died once. And I say that's a good thing because the rest of this game looks like a complete massacre. 5-0 in favor of EM. They've got a 4,000 gold lead and a 3,000 experience lead.
I didn't even want to look at the gold and experience card. I was just did not. I think TA's best option right now is to get the hell out of this lane and try and gank and get some gold up by getting kills. The tri-lane bot could explode if TA and Silencer rotate together, which I think is their only option because they're losing their lanes really badly.
Speaking of rotations, looks like Silencer is going to circle in around on the Darkseer. Darkseer does get last worded. The curse misses.
Okay, and well, you know, Trap doesn't do anything to a Surge. To a Surge Darkseer.
Nothing to see here, guys. Back at bottom.
I think Silencer should have really used Global there to ensure the kill. I know it's a long cooldown, but you need to get something back for your team.
Absolutely, man. I mean, even if he didn't use the Global, he could have waited for the Surge to end before using that curse.
And meanwhile, Batrider has his blink.
Yikes. So there we go, an 8-minute blink dagger coming out for the Batrider. Lasso's off cooldown. Again, if he gets a rune, that's a dead hero on the map. And he's gonna get a double damage rune to make things worse.
Yeah, and I think that DKM may know about this as you see them defensively grouping up around their tower.
Yep, there is in fact a Dire Observer ward up on this high ground, so they see this Batrider coming in, they pinged him out as well. Yep. But unfortunately, there's really nothing they can do to stop this incoming push.
And I think despite the fact that they're positioned really defensively, they're still going to get picked off.
And Batrider just, I mean, all your base are belong to me.
I feel bad for this Shakiro.
Holy crap.
This is just not good.
Oh,
Global comes in a little bit too late because Tyrant is dead and Nyx is dead too.
Beautiful execution by Evil Minds, some silly play by DKM, and they got punished for it.
Exactly. Despite the fact that they had vision, they should not have been caught out like that. I mean, Jakiro was unfortunate, but as soon as that happened, Tidehunter and Nyx should have left into the wolves and just left.
Absolutely. Evil Minds, they're looking pretty strong. I mean, they're looking a lot stronger than any of the other 2 teams we saw last time. I'm seeing quite some smart rotations coming out. That Batrider picking up the D rune. Sure, he did go right under the vision of that observer ward, but he jumped in so fast before DKM could actually react, realizing that they might be a little bit inexperienced and won't be expecting this. All in, balls out, and 1 kill and a tower.
They got 3 kills in the tower, actually.
Oh, my bad. 3 kills and a tower, so 8.
Yeah, and the pathing that he chose was smart too. He went over the trees, avoiding. I mean, once he was out of range of their observer ward, they didn't know where he was. So, I mean, they expected him to be around, but they didn't expect him to come over the trees. And poor Jakiro, I feel for this Jakiro. Playing support is hard enough, but then when Batrider uses lasso for you, that's just sad.
Absolutely, man.
This
Tight
reminds me
under.
of the Queen of Pain from last game.
Bad Tider blinking in, no lasso for another 9 seconds. He gets silenced up, but the fatal bonds and the drop right on top of 4 heroes. Looks like Tight Under's gonna go down. Jakiro's gonna drop
Jakiro's
as
already
well.
gone down.
And are we gonna see any more casualties of this battle? Yep, it's gonna be the TA.
Yeah.
The lasso pulling
Lasso
him
comes
back.
off cooldown and TA is dead.
Adios TA. As 3 more kills going the way of Evil Minds. This was a perfect team fight for them, I'm gonna say.
Okay, I actually forgot about Warlock Golem when thinking about TA. They literally have 5 heroes that have abilities to destroy TA. 5. All 5 of them.
Why would you pick the TA in that scenario, honestly?
I do not know. You have Swarm, you have Iron Chill, Firefly, Mana Burn, Fatal Bonds, Infernal, Shadow Word. This is the worst possible game to play TA. There's only one hero they don't have that would make it complete, and that would be the Venomancer.
But I mean, that's seriously overkill. Carry Venomancer. Bad Rider blinks forward, pops off the flame break, no lasso available, but doesn't give 2 shits as he walks right in. He's
He
probably gonna forfeit his
probably
life.
pretty low, but no.
Smart
Yes,
play there.
TA is dead as the Firefly
No.
is doing a lot of work, and Bad Rider goes back in, balls to the wall, takes him out, gets surged and gets out. Good
Oh,
play by the
man.
Darkseer there.
A complete massacre as DKM does pick up their first kill of this tournament and possibly their only kill if things go at this rate, man. It's 15 and 1, 11 minutes in.
11 minutes in and they're pushing T3s. If that doesn't say domination, I don't know what does.
Absolutely, man. And I believe that this is something that last game's teams could have learned from.
Is under attack.
Yeah, they seem quite unwilling to push. I mean, even though they had a 20,000 gold advantage, they were just like,
Quite
let's
unwilling.
throw it out.
Let's put it as quite unwilling, but I mean, when you're 15,000 gold ahead, you can basically fountain camp.
Well, at least they had to manage not to do that. Well, actually, no, I don't know. I think I saw OD dive in the fountain.
Yeah, they did actually. I like this rotation from DKM. They know they're ahead. They're not wasting any time. Like they're not going in farming jungle or any nonsense. They know that DKM can't stop them. There's no Ravage online. We're just gonna take down another tier 1 tower. So what if we've got global silence? We'll shut up for a bit and kill you. And again, this poor Jakiro gets pulled back into 4 heroes. And Nyx Assassin with the Impale cleans up. 11-minute medallion coming out on the warlock, by the way.
I don't even want to say anything about this Jakiro. I mean, it's not his fault. I'm just sad.
What the hell is this courier? I've never seen this before.
The Dire Courier?
The Radiant courier. It's a Smeeble on a magic carpet with an Alibaba hat.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Okay, I can't take my eyes off this.
I know, man. Let's
a
watch this
beautiful
courier
card.
for a while. Screw this game.
Wow, I have never seen that courier. And DKM is just like, we're gonna rock it old school. We got Donkey.
Oh man. So
It's actually
another
really
tier 2
surprising to see. Oh, nice 2-minute fill in mid.
Vendetta. I mean, how often do you see a Tide Hunter going down almost solo to a Nyx? The rock gets dropped right on top of their heads. TA a long way from home. Weaver with a double kill, and they're just going high ground. 13 minutes in. Bad Rider says, "Hey, wait, where you going, buddy?"
And
Right.
Jakiro tries to man up on this Bad
Oh,
Rider,
man.
he's gonna pay for it.
Some
The Infernal just says hello to Jakiro.
I'm turning into an Evil Minds fan. I love this ballsy play coming up from him.
But I wouldn't necessarily say it's ballsy when you're this far ahead. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at the gold graph. When they're over 15,000 gold ahead, I wouldn't say it's ballsy to do it when you're this far ahead. It's just asserting your dominance.
Well, actually that's right, man. The only reason I say I love them is because they're not taking their own sweet time in this one.
Yeah, I believe last game you had a lot of frustration when it came to the team not finishing the game.
I know, man. I lost my composure. I should not have been doing that. But then again, it was a boring game. But this
And
one
this
is
kept
the
on.
complete opposite. As TA just goes down, boring is definitely not true to his name. He's not being boring at all. He's got a wicked six streak. He's not gone down. Even
And he's
once.
blinking into their fountain almost.
Wait, what?
He got his 8th kill.
Oh,
He just
man.
got his monster kill outside their fountain on a Tide Hunter who is squishier than a Crystal Maiden. I don't think this Tide Hunter is going to get ravaged this game. He's not going to hit level 6.
He's sitting at level 5. That's Rax going down 14 minutes in. This is excellent execution. I mean, they're wasting no time. They know they're ahead and they're just capitalizing. I'm really curious to see how this team performs going further. I want to see them playing from behind as well. So
Well, if the other teams grace them with the kind of draft that they were given this time, I don't think they will ever be behind. They drafted well, they drafted smart, and there's the GG call.
Finally, there we go. GG comes out. DKM has tapped out. I'm not sure how that automatic GG thing works in lobby games. I think they've got to type GG without the well played, right?
No, I think it's the admins have to uh, type in some command, something like Dota ref underscore dire or something. I don't know what it is.
That just never worked for me in the past, man. Okay, I
Oh.
think someone called GG. Maybe that countdown timer thing restarted. Hopefully this game will end on its own. Otherwise, we can just watch them.
I didn't
Slug
know
it out.
that they had a countdown for that. I thought you had to leave the game for the auto countdown to start.
Oh, really? No, I believe it was added. You type GG and a countdown starts.
Really? Because then in pub games, people call GG all the time.
No, that's just for lobby games, man.
Ah, okay.
Let me, you know what? Let me take this time to actually Google. It's something that I could learn as well. Let's figure out what the command is like. Wait, I heard a lasso. I'm gonna jump back into this game.
Yeah, PA is getting. Bad Rider is going 1v4 like a boss. And then. Oh, he survives with the one charge. Nyx is
Oh
following
my
him desperately
God.
with nothing. Futile attempt.
I pity these guys, man.
And there goes Nyx, blinks in. Tiger's like, no, let me get level 6. Let me get. Oh,
I think they heard us, man. Challenge accepted, they say. Yes, they're not even letting him get creepy XP. This is kind of.
DKM, even though they call GG, they're still coming out and trying their defense. I mean, a valiant effort, but really, just sit in base, man.
That's true. There you go. More GGs coming out. So it's essentially a 15-minute win for Evil Minds. They've done an amazing job, I've got to say.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. The countdown does work. Looks like big
I
piece.
think the captain has to call GG.
There we go. Unless somebody press cancel on their end. Alright, this has been an entertaining game to say the least. I hope you join me for the next one as well. There's one more coming up in just a little bit. I'm not sure who's playing that one. I think it's... Let me just check up on the schedule. It's I7 versus DKM. Oh god. So if you're free for that one, feel free to jump in.
Sure.
Alright, we'll see you.
Alright, see.